channel live on YouTube.
This was on Mosso and Perez. Okay. All right, calling cause number 2020-0502. This is a hearing on a to establish a suit affecting parent-child relationship with an acknowledgement of paternity in two cases, children before the court. Parties are Fernando Hermoso and Karina Perez. Both have appeared through the Zoom application. Uh, my name is Antonio Rodriguez. I am the Associate Judge for the Title 40. And we are appearing through the Zoom application since we cannot appear in court due to the current pandemic crisis that's going on. However, the courts have allowed us to conduct these remote hearings through this application. I'll advise parties not to talk over each other, person testifying or asking questions at one time, interrupt each other because sometimes the audio, sometimes the video will hear. So please keep that in mind. You are in court, so I'd ask the parties conduct themselves accordingly. For the purposes of the hearing, this matter is being recorded. It's being live streamed through the YouTube channel as provided for the Texas and Texas orders. However, as soon as we finish this hearing, this live stream will be no longer be available and the YouTube. All right, those are the basic ground rules in this case. Let me ask the Attorney General to make an announcement in this case.
Yes, this is Brooklyn Morris, Attorney General, representing the state of Texas, ready to proceed.
All right, and ask the parties, Mr. Hermoso. Sir, are you ready to proceed at this time too?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Perez, are you ready to proceed at this time as well?
Yes.
All right, I'll ask both of you to please raise your right hand so I can swear you in. All right. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Ma'am, I
Yes.
didn't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, sometimes you do have to speak up a little bit louder, please, all right? All right, Ms. Morris, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. The state calls Karina Perez. Karina, please, Ms. Perez, can you state your name for the record?
Karina Perez.
And you are the mother for the child of Brianna and Fernando Jr., correct?
Yes.
And how old is Brianna?
4.
And Fernando Jr.?
2.
2. And who is the father of Brianna and Fernando?
Fernando Hermoso.
And were you given an opportunity to have any testing or any form of acknowledgement of paternity for these two children? In other words, is it known to be that Fernando is the father of both Brianna and Fernando Jr.?
Yes.
Okay. And the two of you agree that the last name of the child will remain Hermoso, correct?
Yes.
Hermoso. Okay. And the two of you agree, you and Mr. Fernando, agree to share the decision-making of both of the children, correct?
Yes.
The two of you agree to no geographical restrictions, correct?
Yes.
And just to go back, that decision-making will be under joint managing conservatorship, correct?
Yes.
You also both agree to a standard possession order, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you agree that Mr. Fernando does not support any other children outside of Brianna and Fernando Jr., correct?
Yes. Correct.
And is it true that you both live together, correct?
Yes.
And you agree that Mr. Fernando is to pay 0 child support at this time as a result of you guys living together, correct?
Correct.
And you also agree that you are not requesting any retroactive child support, correct?
Correct.
And you understand that you're asking that the fact that you're not asking for retro, that you cannot go back and re-request this, correct?
Correct.
You
Yes.
understand? You agree that Mr. Fernando will pay or reimburse the state $113 a month regarding Brianna and Fernando Jr.'s health insurance, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you agree that this is in the best interest of both children.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. And is there your testimony that there are any violent issues or any abuse issues or anything like that, and
No.
that you, yeah. So you have no problem with your personal information being disclosed, correct?
No. No, I don't have no
No.
problem.
Okay. And you agree that I or one of the other AGs in the office are to draft this order today without you having first reviewed it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. No further witness or past this witness, Judge. The state would like to call Fernando Hermoso.
Right, go ahead.
Fernando, state your full name for the record, please.
Fernando Hermoso.
And you are the father of the child for Brianna and Fernando Jr., correct?
Yes.
And you have acknowledged to be the father, obviously, just now. And as such, you have a duty to support Brianna and Fernando Jr., correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you've heard the testimony of Miss Karina Perez, correct?
Yes.
And you agree to everything that has been stated on the record, correct?
Yes.
And you agree that you will be paying this $113 a month versus health insurance, correct?
Yes.
And you also stated that you are employed, correct? And that you do have health insurance coverage available through your employer, correct?
Yes.
And it is also your wish to phase out into eventually providing for your children through your health insurance of your employer, correct?
Yes.
And it's your testimony that you plan to apply by November, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so it is your understanding that this order will enforce you to pay the $113 to be reimbursed to the state up until you are able to provide your new coverage in November, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're asking that the court approve this agreement today, correct?
Yes.
And that you agree that I myself or another AG in this office are to draft this order without having you first reviewed, correct?
Yes.
Okay. State passes this witness, but would like to call Ms. Karina Perez back.
All right, go ahead.
Ms. Perez, I'm sorry I didn't address this, but based on our conversation before we entered this court, it is your understanding that Mr. Fernando is to pay the $113 up until November when he's able to provide his new coverage to his employer, correct?
Correct.
And you're okay with this agreement, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No further witness.
All right. The court has no questions for either party. Morris, go ahead. How do you wish to enter an order to finalize this matter?
Yes, Judge, the state wishes to order that the parties, based on them residing together, the state wishes that the parties be ordered to a joint medical conservatorship with no geographical restrictions, with also a standard possession order in place. The court orders that child support be set at 0 due to the parties residing and that Mr. Fernando has been providing for the children. The court further orders that health insurance be ordered at $113 a month by Mr. Fernando, subject to a phase out in November, provided that he shows proof of a new coverage through his employer. The state orders that no retro be done as there are no past tenants in this case. The court finds that there has not been any issue of family violence, and that all of this order to begin on August 1st of 2020.
All right, having heard a testimony of the parties, the court finds that the parties have entered into this agreement. The agreement has been testified to by the court, by the parties, and entered into the record of this proceedings. Presented to the court, I will sign that order. Copies of that order will be filed with the clerk's office and copies to be sent to the parties at the addresses that are on file. Is there anything else in this matter?
No.
Any
Judge, can I
questions?
get an entry date?
Well, if you send it to me today, I usually normally set entry EJ for about two weeks from today's date.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions? Does somebody have a question or did
Mm,
you have a question?
no question.
No.
Hermoso? No? Okay, I thought somebody was going to ask something. Very well. So that order will be submitted to the court. I will sign it and copies will be sent. And there's anything else pending in this case, that concludes our hearing for today. I do appreciate you all working this out. And at this point, then the hearing will be finished and parties are excused. Thank you all very much for your participation in today's hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Ya. ¿Y ahora con nosotros?
Ya lo cerramos. Do we close it or?
Let's close it out. Yes, we're gonna hang out or close it or whatever you need to do.
Leave.
Okay. All right. That concludes our wonderful docket this morning. We have two this afternoon. Let's see here. I think that's we didn't have anything else pending, correct, Mr. Canal? Ms. Morris, anything on this?
I think that's everything.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.